be, say, 15 minutes. But like you say, this film covers a lot, so we really did have to kind of, to do it justice, it needed to be 20 minutes.
Absolutely, I'm glad that you came out and told us about it. I think, the short film is 22 minutes, that's about the same as a network television program, half-hour sitcom or whatever, in time.
Exactly, so all those network TV executives in Palm Springs.
It's, I think, an incredible short film, and it deals with a really, a time of great change in this country. And a young man who is, of course, very hopeful that that change is going to happen. And then he confronts reality when the election all comes down. What inspired the film to begin with? And also, you have a number of the cast members here with you, don't you?
I do, yes. Should I get them up?
Why not?
So basically what inspired the story. Well, I knew that I wanted to make a short film. I wanted to make something provocative that really meant something to me, possibly that could maybe do something in the way of change, social change. And from a very personal perspective, my mother's black and my brother's gay. So on November 5th, 2008, when everything had just gone down in the last 24 hours, I was like, oh my goodness, like what just happened? Like I couldn't believe the irony of that day. And so, really touched me and inspired me, and I thought, okay, it's all very well from my perspective. I mean, I'm English as well, as you can tell, so like, who cares what I think about it? But I was like, what if you were a teenager? What if you were a black, gay teenager on that day? What did we as voting adults teach the teenagers on that day? And that was kind of my question. And so I wanted to tell that story. And that's pretty much where it all came from. Thank you.
Go ahead, back here.
Yeah, I want to echo that because it was the first time I'd seen that night dramatized and it all came back up, all those feelings. I would love to know from the cast what it meant to them to be in that movie or to document that moment in history.
Let's try now.
Well, if you notice, I played the grandmother in that film. And for me, as an elder woman anyway, and then to have the opportunity to say to the nation, this is what we felt as older black people in this world, to have a chance to see this change come about, it was an awesome opportunity for me to play that role. So I felt very honored.
For me, it was very deep, actually. The whole connection between Obama winning the presidency and, us saying, not accepting, gay marriage, it was like, for me, I'm from Chicago, the inner city of Chicago, and I actually grew up in the church. So, but I've always felt, different about certain things. I got the opportunity, I think a year before we filmed this movie, to be in San Francisco for the first time for my birthday. I was with my girlfriend there, and I was only there for a weekend. It was my first time, and there was a rally going on, and it was the No Prop 8 rally, and I was like, what's going on? And, the street, we couldn't move in the streets, there was tons of traffic, and I was like, man, I just want to celebrate my birthday. I just want to go and have some dinner with my girlfriend, chill. But then I just sat there, and I was like, well, okay, really feel this energy, and it was amazing. I loved it. I was like, yeah, fight for, what you believe in, and, yes, I just started participating, and it was great. When I told my dad about it, him being a pastor, I could tell that he was excited for me. And it was like, he was like, okay, I'll push you too. And it was great. So, playing a villain in a movie, it was hard, but, you need that part to tell the story, so.
We're going to have to wrap it up, folks. I'll take one more question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought one of the most touching moments of the movie was the scene with the grandmother and the grandson together in the room. And the visuals in the face, the way I perceived it, I was just wondering if this is how it was intended or written. It was, the look in her face was a realization of change through her life that she longed for. And I just wondered, did she know at that moment that her grandson was gay and that perhaps he would have to go through a longer struggle to realize his dreams as well?
Yeah, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head as far as what that scene was about, and that is exactly how it was written. The one thing I didn't do as a writer was actually plan in advance whether Grandma knew or not. And actually having her at the breakfast table the next morning was something we did at the last minute. Because it was only then that I worked with Chris, and I was like, oh, actually, I want her in more of the film because she was so good. And even that, just that one look at the breakfast table when the parents come in, they say Prope has passed, and she looks at him, and I said, I just want that exchange, and I want it to be ambiguous. That, do you know? I want them to be guessing. There's something here that's deeper that I hadn't even, intended when I actually wrote it. But that sometimes happens as a filmmaker, and I know that Chris, you've thought about this a lot, haven't you, as an actor?
Yes, I thought about it a lot as an actor. I also thought about it a lot as a parent and a grandparent, and I think especially as a grandparent, you have a different love and understanding than you do as a parent. And I think trying to relate to my grandson and all that was happening with the prop and with the change in the election, there was a whole host of emotions that I hope I portrayed in that one scene, because I actually felt every single emotion that was happening at that time in life, and at that time for people in that generation of grandparents. And for me to have a grandson that I know is struggling with something, even if I don't know exactly what it is, and I probably have an idea what it was. But your heart went out to him, it went out to everyone at the time that we were struggling with. Not just what he was struggling with, the whole time of the world, and what all this change means.